My mic was muted. That would help. Lovely when things get blocked the day that you're going to work on them. So got this part up and going. If you want to drop a comment in, we'll use the comments. Hopefully you can hear me now. I wonder if it's a bit delayed. My microphone was muted. No sound. That's not good. Oh, yay. So I guess the trick is that there's a bit of a delay. Sorry, folks, for changing it up. We used Meet last week, so I didn't think to check it again. And now they're saying I'm blocked. Yay. So not exactly what we had planned, but I'm liking the comment feature, so you guys can just leave a comment there. I just need to figure out how to get my screen up. Hey, Michelle. Now that it's on YouTube Live, sure. I didn't dress accordingly for YouTube Live, but this may fail miserably too, but we're going to go with it. It is what it is. Okay. So I'm going to get YouTube Live on here, and we're going to try to make sure we can get this up on the screen. If you want to drop in the comments just one great thing about this weekend, that's awesome. While I get this going. All right. We got that. We're going to go full screen. So we'll just be switching back and forth. So when I share my screen, we'll actually go from my phone so we can show all of those pieces. Never polish, Michelle. We're keeping it authentic. That word authentic is like really encapsulating this whole learning experience. Nothing is clean and polished. Mini eggs. I got no mini eggs. I didn't get any chocolate this weekend. I had turtles left over. But as a big chocolate fan, I kind of feel like I missed out. But hopefully, get the cheap candy that's on sale afterwards. my mic on me. So I guess every time I switch slides, it mutes my mic. So I'm going to keep my notifications on my phone, which I usually don't do. So tweet me or message me if anything happens. All right, awesome. So yeah, whenever I change the windows, it must change it up. So if I've missed anybody, please feel free to let them know. It just likes muting my mic. This should be fun. Okay. Thank you guys. You guys are like rock stars coming in. If anybody did find the comments, so the comments, for those people that found them, they should just be on the side. It may be because you haven't logged in yet. So just make sure, probably on the wrong side. On this side of your screen, you see the little login. I don't know, one of the corners. You see your little symbol. And you should get the comment option. I'll take messages in Twitter too, since that works. If that sounds okay. And I can't do my multiple device thing just yet because we had this crazy quick change over. But awesome, Sharon. Yay. But as we go along, I'll show you a little bit and then we'll switch back over here so we can chat and ask questions, and then we'll go back and forth if that sounds okay. Sorry this isn't as smooth as we wanted, but as Michelle, Sharon, and I have been chatting, I guess it's more authentic. This is the messy learning that happens online when things get blocked and you have to switch it up. So if you just want to add in the comments, I know some of you have already used clips. If you've ever played with clips, hey, Barb, nice to see you. If you have ever played with clips before, just if you want to drop that in the comments. It literally keeps muting my mic. This is the funniest thing ever. Oh, this should be fun. Let's go here. Maybe that's why. Yeah. Hey, Karen loves to use clips. Okay, so Darlene's brand new to clips, so I'll share a little bit about why I love it. If you did just for other friends that got in and found the comments, did you have to log in to be able to see the comment box? I know it won't let you comment without doing that. Kim, new to clips, awesome. I love clips. I have an addiction, those that know me well, almost as much as I love Keynote. Maybe I love it more than Keynote. I don't know. They're close. Clips isn't like iMovie, and I think that's the biggest piece to get your head around, is that it works a little differently. So once you kind of do that shift, if I know for me, it helped me a lot in understanding clips. And clips really is the idea that you take individual clips and put them together. So they're a collection of clips. I love when app names make sense. But yeah, it's one of those weird things that it has some funky features. So we really aren't editing a full video. So like if you're used to iMovie, you would create a video and then you put a soundtrack on it. And then you make edits. With clips, we're really creating these individual segments and then we're putting them together. What I love about it is that it really allows us to point out different features. So when I do my post for DigiArtBox, I'm able to really show people where the different pieces are on my screen. So kind of like when I use screen record, when we did the recipe, being able to point out different ingredients, So those features are great, and being able to enhance it. So think about Instagram stories or Snapchat where you can have filters and effects and titles. So that's really what makes it look clean. So you shouldn't have to create a channel. You should just be able to log in the corner. No worries if you can't comment. I have my phone out as well, so we'll just keep switching back and forth. We're gonna, and it just keeps muting my mic. So somebody yell at me too if I'm talking to myself. Okay. So you guys have rocked it so far. I'm just gonna see if I can take me off the screen and just share my screen instead. And I'm just gonna try to see. Yeah, this is interesting. Sorry, people. Should have had more, should have been more organized. But I'm just gonna do a little switcheroo here, and we're gonna get the StreamYard ready. So today our goal is to end up with a finished clip. We're gonna work through a couple different features in clips. So clips has different parts that can make our clip up that make it more interesting. So we have things like, I can't type and talk at the same time, obviously. We have things like posters, which they're kind of like a page you can put in your creations. You can make a whole video just out of posters if you wanted to. I like to drop in some pictures now and then. So as we go along, I'll try to share some of those tips I use when creating my clips. We're gonna try to go. Didn't work. All right. Just trying to get a second screen going here just so that I can make sure I can get everybody set up. Just trying to get a second screen going here. Thank you all for your patience. Barb, you got ahead of the game. Okay. Thank you again. Just trying to send myself the link. All right. I think I figured out a solution. If you guys can, I'm going to put up a screen for a second, and then I'm going to get my laptop from work so that we can have two screens going, if that works for you guys. So I'm going to mute the mic for a minute. If you guys don't mind being patient for maybe 3 minutes, hopefully I can get this up and running. And if you can, we're going to think about just 2 or 3 pictures. If you want to go through your camera roll, make sure those are ready to go. Make sure the Clips app is ready to go. And we're going to try to save this. Okay. 2 minutes. Okay. My work computer is a PC and it's very, very slow. So I'm trying to let that go for right now. The one bonus of 9 years as a tech coach is learning that technology never goes exactly how you want. But I guess that keeps us authentic and on our toes. Just getting the internet up here. Sorry, friends. Had it all planned out, and it doesn't always go the way you want. Hey, Sue, you got in. Nice to see ya. Almost there. Yep, you can use an existing video and clips, Jennifer. We'll show you how to do that today. I'm going to try to see if we can. You're going to see me in loop probably. Just letting it connect, and then we'll take it from there. So when we're looking at putting our clips together, we're able to use images, the posters. You're able to use videos. You don't have to use the entire video. You can use a portion of it. Lots of different options there. Katie, I should have taken you up on the meet setup. Okay. So we're gonna go. Okay. So if you guys can just let me know if you can see me, and I'm gonna try to get the screen up at the same time. All right, make it a bit bigger. Okay, you don't want to see all that craziness, so how about I go to the slides? Hey, oh my goodness. We made it, people. So you can hear me? You can see the picture? Well, it was a quick adventure here, people. Okay, now I have to remember what computer I'm touching. And we may not hear the audio, so we'll just have to, from clips. So hopefully we can just talk through that. Okay, so we already talked a lot about all of these. So I'm just gonna come here. Where's my slide that had our pieces? Right here. So we're gonna start by adding a poster, and then we're gonna add an image and add effects. For those that have already used clips, I'm gonna show some little tips and tricks just so we can become power users. Really give yourself freedom that if you just have a poster, a picture, and a soundtrack at the end, you rock this session. And if you want to take anything else from it, that's awesome. We're going to show you how to add live titles. So that's those subtitles you saw in the video that I shared. We'll show you how to edit because it's a weird piece. Again, it's not like iMovie, so it takes some switching around. And then we're also going to look at bringing in a soundtrack. And before we go, for anybody that has the new fancy phones, I don't want to show it at the beginning because it's We don't all have fancy new phones. But anybody that has the phone with face recognition, you'll be able to do those and emojis. So where you can put your faces in and do all of that jazz. Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna just switch over to QuickTime so you can see my screen. Okay. So on my screen right now, I'm gonna just go to clips and we're gonna just start off with posters. So I'll show you a bit. If you wanna follow along, that's great, but I'll pause and we'll take questions if that works. So in clips, oh my, you're seeing me double. I'm gonna go up to that little, it looks like a file box, I guess. And I'm just gonna create a new clip. So my clip's gonna be about my favorite places or places of happiness. So I'm gonna go to posters. And we actually have several different posters we can choose from. Now, any of the ones above your Star Wars, you can edit. So that means I can fine tune those words to be exactly what I want. So I'm gonna choose this one. Well, I could choose that one, but there's also a great graphic that looks like traveling. That one would probably be a good fit. There's so many titles and posters. And after I show you the basics, I'll show you a little bit about how I kind of bring them together. So if I do this one here with arrivals and departures isn't a good title for me. So I'm just gonna double tap where those words are. And I'm gonna say my happy places. Probably should have had some titles on there. We'll leave it so I can show you how to edit later. That's what we're gonna go with. That's on purpose. So I'm gonna apply up in the corner. I'm just gonna do that one more time so you can see. So sometimes you're like, why did I lose? Oh, my computer died. This is just, sorry, 1 second. Okay, let's just bring QuickTime up again. Sorry, friends. Did we say it's again, you see lots of me. Hey, there we go. And we're back. Okay. All right. So, sorry, friends. So if you see up on the top corner, we're just gonna go full screen so you don't see that in the background. All right. So I'm gonna apply that word up in the top just so I can get back to my screen. Now remember how we said this is clips. So to do clips, I have to hold that pink button that's there in the bottom in the middle, and I hold to add it to my clip. Now it will record my voice, so it will actually record anything I say. And if I don't say anything, it will just keep it as a muted clip. So I already have one clip in my awesome clip. So if you want to take a minute to look through the posters, if it's your first time using the app, it may take a minute or two to download the posters. So they don't download everything to your device right away, just so that it doesn't use a lot of space on your device. So that's one of the reasons you may get that little pop-up that asks you to just wait a minute as those posters download. I know that's happened before. Are we able to add a poster? Let me move this here so hopefully it doesn't. Hey, Nadine, awesome. So a little thing that I do, so just looking at the color scheme, so this is, I have my whites, I have my orange. So if I was adding another title to just explain a bit more, I would go with that same color scheme. Just makes your clip look really clean. So that's where these basics are really helpful. So I would come into something like this, And I could say, let's go on a little tour. And apply and add that in. So I just hold that pink button again. So that's what keeps those pieces looking like they're coherent. It's one of the little tricks. So I try to make sure the color schemes align just so that it's clean. If you're doing one for an event like we've done for Ditch Sit on Saturday, then I sometimes will use my own pictures at the beginning and then pick the titles that go with our theme picture. But really, when you're first starting, you don't know what the effects and the posters do till you choose them. And you might have noticed some have longer animations than others, like the world or the yellow pop machine, that they animate a little longer. Some of those basic titles are quick. They may have no animation at all. All right, anybody? Look at all of you guys adding. That's awesome. Any questions about posters, or we feel like we're rocking posters? Okay. We'll give folks a second if they have a question. Just going to minimize here for a second. We're going to come back to sharing. I'm just going to stop my cam over here and take off that banner so you guys don't have that still up on the screen. Okay, cool. Okay. Hey, you guys are rocking it. Okay, so now we want to add our pictures in. So to add my pictures, I'm going to go right beside posters. So we see scenes, camera, library. You won't see scenes unless you're on a phone, because scenes again uses facial recognition. We'll show you that at the end. So don't worry if that's not there. You may just see camera, library, and posters. So I'm going to go to library, and library takes anything from your photo library. So I'm going to go to my favorites just to make it easier and pick some of my favorite places. And Lisa, this is just for you. Here we go. So I have my picture I want to add in. Now I can add just this picture and talk about it by holding the pink button. But I actually want to put something else on here so they know what we're talking about. So I'm actually going to put a label on it. So this label will just be a word. It's not everything I'm saying, it's just a sticker. So to do a sticker, I'm going to use my star. So on my pink button that I've been holding, right beside it, there's a little star. And that gives me lots of different effects. We're going to go to text. And then I have lots of options again. Now, again, for those of you that have used it before, I'm going to look for fonts that make sense. So Lisa and I share PI stories in the summer. So I'm going to actually go for this bold white font. I know it says Toronto, but just like the titles at the beginning, we can change that up. Ocean Wanders. It sounds very philosophical, but we'll go with it. So now when I record, it actually will animate on top. So one other trick that's kind of handy for those that have used clips before. So if you haven't used clips before, see if you can add a picture. See if you can add a picture with text. For those folks that have used clips before, if you wanted it to seem like that animation comes a little longer, because I have the same picture in my movie, and because I didn't move that picture, I didn't resize it, it will actually look like that title comes in after a few seconds. So that's a little trick, and if you want a little lead in before you have those labels or that text, just use the same picture, stop your clip, and then record again with that animation on top of it. And just to show you, that's also how I could change up the text and make it look like the text is changing. Sunset hunting. Hold the record. Great question, Katie. So if you tap on your text, you'll get a little pop-up box that says edit or delete. Now, here's a weird thing about clips, because again, with clips, we're adding clips to the bottom of our timeline. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, you see all the little boxes that we've recorded. So if I actually delete the text from up here on the screen right now, it's not actually deleting in my video. So the easiest thing for right now, and Darlene, you beat me to it. The easiest thing to do right now is to figure out how we delete a clip. So one of the fun ways to delete a clip is to go to your bottom timeline, hold a clip, and then just swipe up and it will disappear. Now, if that doesn't work for you, you can always tap on a clip, and each clip has its own editing tools there for us. My technology just keeps acting funny. So you can always push the trash can there. Hopefully we'll come back up on the screen in a second. Maribel, it's really up to you. So you really control that timing. So if I'm talking, I usually will. So if I did a clip where I'm explaining something like the ad that we saw online, I'd hold the button for a second, do my talking, and then remember to hold the button for a second before I let go. It was one of the worst habits I had at the beginning, that I would not remember to hold the button till I finish talking. I don't know if anybody else does that when they record. It's just one of those things sometimes. So that really is up to you. If you're not recording your voice, usually I'll keep a picture or something up on the screen for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, but that's where our edit tools come in really handy. Because with editing, we can make things longer or shorter. So I usually watch my clip at the end just to see how the timing goes, because sometimes the title will be really long and you want it to be on for 4 seconds, and another one's really short, so 2 seconds feels like forever. So that edit option is really handy. I usually, by default, do 2 seconds and then come back. So I'm just going to, we lost our little, there we go. It matches now. But I have to share it again with you. Hey, technology does not want to give us a break today. Hey, there we go. So, do we all have a picture? Do we all have a picture with text? And do we all have a poster? Can you leave me a comment? Just want to make sure we have everyone with us. Or if there's other questions. Hopefully I answered your question, Maribel. Yeah, Darlene, you got it. So when you hold the pink button to record, it automatically recognizes anything you're saying, and we'll see that in live titles in a minute really well. And then when you let go, it just automatically puts that sound on. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes if you don't talk, it automatically recognizes there's not a loud voice close by, so it just mutes the clip. If you're in a busy room or you're trying to do a video with your family, let me just, well, that works all right. If you're doing a busy clip with your family, you can actually mute any of your clips. So how about I show you the editing tools now before we, how can you flip a speech bubble? Oh, now I have to try to remember. How'd you go back to the beginning of the clip? So how about I give you, okay. Nadine, so awesome. Okay, so a couple things. If your clip is here and you're still working and you want to go back to the beginning, so look at your timeline on the bottom and you can click at the very beginning and preview it again. Sometimes though, if your app crashed or if anything happens there, I'm just gonna go back to the file because you may see if your app looks like this, not our chat on Twitter. So if your app looks like this, you can tap on your clip again and say open to open it back up. And that will show you your clip. So it can be a work in progress at any time. So again, if you want to add anything to your timeline, it's all that pink button. The pink button is the magic button as we go along. So I'll just use the camera this time. So you don't have to be, you don't have to use from your library. I just prefer it. I can also switch with that little switcheroo. So again, to add to my camera, I'm just holding. To add to my clip, I'm just holding. And it will add to my clip on the bottom. Again, if I want to get rid of it, hold and swipe up, or I go to the edit options. For your library, if you had a video, just to show you the video options, I'm going to go to albums up in the top corner and choose my video. I have this water from the other day. So notice how you get a little timeline. So if you're recording and adding from your timeline, you can pick where you start your video and you can choose where you end it. So this is also how you can chop up if you were retelling an event that you were having. So if you, thinking of you, Katie, with your drama, if somebody did a tableau and you want to break it down into steps, if you were talking about an event. So with a video, just pick where you want to start. And again, remember everything to add to our video is just that pink button. We hold it to go add it in till I'm done. And then it adds another clip on the bottom of my box. Now, if you don't see the pink button, that may mean that you're in edit mode. So this here is our edit mode when we're in editing. So I have to say done, which may be different if you're on your iPad. It may be in the top corner, but I have to say done to get back to my pink button. So if I can't see my pink button, I'm not in the record view. Be so good for drama. Even trying to help, oh, I love character development. And Katie, you know how you're doing your history project? I was thinking this would be so cool to talk about artifacts or to have others share about artifacts. So because it allows that human piece on the other side, while also allowing us to be asynchronous. So it's great for that. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more. Keep those questions and comments coming, and hopefully I addressed the questions so far. We wanna add a couple more features that are in effects before we go to live titles. So I'm gonna get rid of this one here. So if I go back to my library, I'm gonna go back to my albums. I'm gonna pick another one of my favorite spots. This is silly, but I like the little details. So I can put my little title on, little details. And I'll put that nice in the center. So I'm gonna just record. And then I'm gonna go in and I actually want them to see the little details. So in my stickers, there's so many stickers. So for this one, maybe I wanna tell them that I love the little details. So I'll add my hearts on there. And we'll just put them up here. And I can add that on. Or let's delete these friends. Maybe I want to really highlight something. So on the bottom, some of the stickers I like using the most are under the square and arrow. So I have these colored arrows and I have these white arrows that actually let me highlight. So I could point to that little nail right in the middle and circle it. So actually, maybe I'll use my arrows to point to the colors. I love that it kind of, you have the two colors on either side. Those are big arrows. I should have made them smaller. But we'll let it go. you're going to have sticker overload right here, what not to do. So when I hold it to record, you can see those stickers animate automatically. So really great to be able to highlight something. So Karen, thinking if you were doing an inquiry piece, or Lisa and some friends in the library, you're able to highlight a different area and really draw their attention to it. You can look at some of those things that they noticed, lots of different features. So I'll let you play with those stickers. Let me know if you have any other questions. Again, for those that have used clips before, you might have noticed that I did little details and then the heart. So any sticker that stays on the screen, when you record the next, it will know not to animate it again. So that's how you can kind of layer those stickers over time, is that as long as it doesn't move, which sometimes I'm terrible at, chunky fingers moving things around on a screen, sometimes it just shifts. So yeah, some of that you're kind of stuck with. But anything that's on the screen the first time, if you record it on the next screen, it automatically knows that was already there. No need to animate it again. So it really gives us that effect, that little details, I can focus on that first, and then the hearts come in afterwards. Questions, comments? I just realized I think I forgot to send the link to somebody. So Beth, if you're not on, I'm very, very sorry if I forgot to send it to you. Are we feeling a little bit more comfortable with clips? Other things you're really hoping we can check out? The next thing we're going to look at is editing, and then we'll get into live titles. Is everybody furiously creating? And this is a great time to say Clips has so many possibilities. That's where when I first started, it really was just starting simple and starting with the pictures and the posters and the soundtrack. I then added some of those text titles. And then over time, you want to make it fancier. So those the little stickers, like the animated rainbow and the heart, finding cool ways to use those are really helpful. But remember that it takes time to get used to any app. So today we're going through some of the possibilities, but really we're hoping we have a poster. We're hoping we have a picture and some special effects, and then the rest is bonus. Karen, it is one of the best fits for procedural writing. I have an example on Digi Artbox that a friend and I did with her daughter on slime. And then the recipe, the cookie recipe, it just works so well with the instructions, and that's where live titles would be great. Yeah, Joyce, all of the videos I do on Digi Artbox are all done with clips. Oh, Lindsay, that's awesome. Rachel, so you can definitely have special effects and live titles on the bottom. Live titles are a little funky that if you put them on, they're going to try to put them on every clip. So you just have to remember that they're there and that you can turn them off. So it's one of the reasons we don't show it right away, but definitely something you can do. And Darlene, you definitely, I guess I could put this up on the screen. Oh, I can't because I'm not. I'll be smarter for the next one. You definitely can send it to a different device. So they're just video files. So sometimes if they're short, I'll just message them over. I keep my clips to 1 minute to 2 minutes just because that's what Twitter and Instagram lets you post as. But sometimes when I used to use these when I was teaching the AQ courses, it's weird not doing it right now. But with the AQ courses, sometimes my clips would be 5 minutes. So I dropped them into Google Drive so that I could then embed them anywhere. So all of the cool choice grids we'd be making, you literally could embed one of your clips at the beginning to set this tone and then have them explore 6 different options. So you can have that increase spark on the top and then have them exploring. So the videos, because they save as a video file, which is the awesome part, you can send them anywhere. Just checking any new comments. Karen, I love that. Awesome. Yeah, I do DigiArt bucks. I just how I keep the account separate. I have my own personal account too on Instagram, but if you don't want to see all the crazy pictures, that's it. Okay, so let's get into editing. Awesome, you guys rock. So just a quick thing about editing. So I look at this clip and those arrows just aren't working. So gut reaction, and this is one of the weirdest things about clips, is that if I delete them here on the top, again, that's not actually deleting them from my video. So to edit anything that's already on the bottom of your clips, just tap on one of your clips and I can still edit like I do on my screen. So I've decided those arrows are just distracting. I don't want them anymore. So I can just take them out of the way. So now if I go through, I can check it out and I'm happy with it. I'm still in edit mode. So that's why I don't see my pink record button yet. So if I go back, remember I said my happy places wasn't right. So I can come in here and change that up. So if you hold your spacebar on your iPhone or iPad, it will actually let you position your cursor for any of those advanced users. The other thing that's weird is you have to say apply in the top corner to get out, and then done to get back to my clip. So same with repositioning. If I decided I don't want the circle to be here anymore, I want to resize it. So just pinch and zoom just like you would in your photos. So I can change the size, reposition it, decide what I want to highlight. So you have lots of editing possibilities. Again, you're editing each clip individually. And again, this confuses me because I'm like, didn't I just change that? And it is changed in my movie. It's just not changed on my workspace. So you have to remember that what we see here, no, okay, there we go. What you see on the top of your screen is your workspace. It's not what's in your video. It's the weirdest thing about clips. Katie, I've done a clip that was 7 minutes long, so there were a lot of clips in it. I found it was more the processing to save the video and sharing it that was a pain than really the limitations of the app. So I don't tend to do anything over 5 minutes just because it's harder to share. Takes longer to load to Google Drive or get posted somewhere. But yeah, there's not really a set limit. All right. So for Darlene, we want to look at live titles. So live titles actually will take anything you say and put subtitles on. So I didn't actually use these a lot till I was doing one of my videos for the AQ courses. And one of the girls actually said it was hard to hear. And a lot of people, when they're traveling, they're not actually think about a lot of our kids that are in a busy home, right? So the subtitles actually really helped her focus in on what I was saying. So I don't want to make those. We want them to come up. And now I can put it over my face. So if I was doing a camera setting, but I can also do them just on any picture. So the live titles, remember we have that toolbar there with our pink toolbar. We have our star, and then on the left-hand side is a little speech bubble. That speech bubble is our live titles, and there's lots of different settings you can choose. As long as it's on, you can change the setting later. I use these when I want something really impactful, so that one that kind of pops. Like check this out. It's a great kind of one. When we were doing the procedures though, when I was doing the recipe, I used just that bottom of the screen because it felt more like the recipe videos we see online. Sometimes though, the colors may not work out. So those ones at the end are nice because they'll pop up. But I am type A and I need all my colors, so those don't match my black and orange we're using. This one's kind of cool because it highlights, but again, because my shoes are on the bottom, I think I want the one on the top of the screen. So as I record, it's going to capture my voice and turn it into a live title. Wandering anywhere is an escape. So if I play that back, now I was lucky, I can't believe that actually worked. But if your live title doesn't say exactly what you want, you can tap on your live title and notice that the live titles is in our edit toolbar. So I can always come in and change my text or change my style. Now for any of the French immersion, French, international languages, in your live titles, there's a little world there in the corner. You can also change the language without changing your device. So if I wanted to change it up to Canadian French, I can, and it will just change those subtitles. So a great way to add text, it just uses the artificial intelligence, all of the great wonders that Siri is, and puts that together for us. And we just have that annotated video. Now, sometimes I like seeing the titles, but I don't like seeing myself. So remember, in your edit tools, I can always mute that clip so they don't hear me and they just see the words popping up. It's really up to you. So if you want to try that out, see if you want to add a live title in. Just sending a link. Yes, I'll show where the languages are again for sure. Okay, so one more time for the languages. So if you're in your speech bubble to do live titles, go to the little globe that's on the bar that says live titles. And then you have all of your languages you can choose from. And you can switch back and forth at any time. The one annoying thing about live titles is that if you don't want them on anymore, you have to remember to click on the speech bubble and turn off the live titles. If not, it's always going to add those live titles on your page. To mute your voice, tap on a clip, so any individual clip. And then there's a little speaker symbol there, and I can mute my clip. Now, for those of you using video, you're going to find, I'll do that again, put my video back in. With video, you get more options, so you can actually choose no globe. So you don't have the world either. Oh, Katie found it. Any tips, Katie? So you have to go right into the live titles. It may be a little stretched out if you're on an iPad. Sometimes older versions of the app or newer versions of the app, if you more updated than I am, get repositioned in different places. It decided to test our limits. Okay. For a video, you're going to have more options. I'll just add a video in so you can see that sound piece. So if I'm talking as a video's talking, when I tap on that clip, I can mute. I'm going to get two options with a video. So I can mute the sound of the video clip, or I can mute my recorded audio, so my voice. So I can decide to mute one or mute both, just whatever helps tell my story best. Huh. Sorry, hope it popped up for you. So unfortunately with clips, we don't really have a lot of editing options. I don't believe so yeah, they've changed that. So if we're just go into my edit, if I wanted to put live titles on this friend here, I have my clip, I click on my live title, I can see the text to see what I said, and then I just decide to turn that, choose the title setting I want on that clip. So now I have the pink button. That doesn't really make sense, but that's okay. I will take that off. Another really helpful tool in your edit is to trim. So remember how we said earlier, Maribel, you were asking how long to hold a clip for. You can always lengthen a clip or shorten a clip. With a video, you would be limited to the length of the video. But with images, you have a lot of options. So that's why I usually, if it's my voice, I really want to record, make sure I pause before I record and let it run for a while before I take my hand off the pink button. And I can always come in and trim. So if somebody comes, or if a bell rings, or I had the fire alarm going off this afternoon, I can trim just those sections to fine tune that audio. So we're rocking it. We've added posters, we've added images, we've added videos, we've talked about stickers. Oh, it's on the right in the new version. I tried to update it yesterday, it wouldn't let me. Sorry, Nadine. There you go. Perfect timing. So a couple little things. Yeah, Darlene, that's a weird thing. You can't really record your voice after. So if you want to do that sound after your pictures, iMovie is still the best option. And there's a hack. You can always export your clips and go into iMovie to add the voice on top. But it's just kind of a change in habit because it's different than a lot of the tools we're used to. A lot of the tools we're used to separate those processes. And with clips, because it's more of that feel like Instagram stories or Snapchat where you're kind of documenting, the audio is attached to each individual clip. Now, if you do have a moment where you're like, wow, that water's in the wrong spot, it really should be at the beginning with the ocean waves, I can hold that clip and it will let me reposition things into different spots. So just like when we deleted something, we're able to reposition and rejig. This is just really helpful. Sometimes I'll watch back a video and I find it like I'm missing a connector piece. It doesn't make complete sense, especially with those Digi Artbox posts. So I find being able to rearrange them just saves me time in having to not re-record it all. And they do have this new feature that you can download your clips. So you have that option to save just that one individual piece. No worries, Nadine. Whatever you want to do. My weird voice is all over Twitter. It's all good. Okay. Any questions so far? Do we have a poster? Do we have a picture? Do we have a sticker? And do we have a label? Do we kind of understand what live titles are? I know our time is coming to an end. I promised I wouldn't take more than an hour. So I'll just quickly show you some of the advanced features if you have a phone that uses face recognition. We won't spend a lot of time on it just because not everybody has those features. And then we'll look at adding a background soundtrack. and exporting the clip, if that's okay. All right, so if you do have a face recognition phone, so iPhone 8 Pro, and then I have an XR. I wish I got the beautiful 11, but I don't. Any that have face recognition have a couple cool features built in. So Scenes is, this may crash my computer. We'll see if it cooperates. Maybe, yay. So Scenes actually puts all of these really cool backgrounds. So it kind of does green screen for you. So if you really don't want everybody to see what's behind you, for me, I like a filter. So this lovely guy does black and white, so I feel a little classier. And it adds a nice background so you wouldn't see messy dishes that are usually sitting by my sink. So any of those pieces, once I select it, again, I'm just able to add that to my clip. So even if you're just trying to do a quick video for your kids and you want some subtitles, Clips is even great for that. Now, the other one that lots of people loved was if I go into my camera and I go into my effects, if you have a newer iPhone again, you get the Animoji. So the Animoji will actually animate my face. So that's one you can set up for your own personal profile, or there's lots of different options there. And it uses face recognition. So all of your movements as you're talking will be part of that recording. Again, X to get out, and you have that clip there. Again, for the power users, if you were doing a long clip, I don't want to hold the pink button there forever. So I can hold that pink button and push it up and it turns into a square, which means it's going to hold my recording for as long as I want. So I don't have to be holding that pink button if I'm using it more as a morning message tool, maybe. So those are just a couple advanced features. It's completely surreal seeing in both screens. But if you wanted to add that feature just because you think it's going to entice your kids a little bit more, or you don't feel comfortable being on screen, but you want that presence, I love the fact that I can have my animated self. It just brings the stress down a little bit. Lindsay, I know it's a hard piece, right? Especially as you're walking around. So for the Animoji, because it's adding a face to me in camera, you're going to choose the camera, and then under your star, you're going to look for Animoji. Again, you'll only get it if you have a new iPhone. Unfortunately, if you use your phone, if you unlock your phone with your face, you will have the Animoji option. If not, some people just have done a hack with a Bitmoji and Chatterpix. I know it's not as exciting, but it's definitely plausible. I only got my XR this summer, so before that had to be creative. Awesome. So let's get the dog off there and the owl off there, and let's just tap on our clip. So I have my clip. I'm ready to add some background music. So again, remember, we're not in iMovie, so we're not putting different sound effects. This soundtrack will add to all of my clips together. So the whole video will have one soundtrack. The soundtracks are there's a bunch of Creative Commons soundtracks you can tap into, so you don't have to worry about copyright because they're available to us, and they're set up in themes, so really helpful for us, but also for students that are matching that theme. So when we've done it as a class, as a shared text, it was really helpful. So to get to the music, it's in a different spot, which is weird. So you're actually going to look at the top corner for those little music notes. And I'm going to go to soundtracks. You do get my music, so sometimes that's exciting, but Apple Music and iTunes are really picky about copyright. So a lot of times you'll have a lot of songs in your iTunes or your Apple Music, but you can't actually use them because the production companies don't let you do that. Now you can make your own music if you want to get really fancy in GarageBand. I'm not that fancy. So I just look for a theme. So this is more chill. So I'm actually going to go down here to sentimental, and I'm just going to choose a clip. You can just tap on them. None of them are added to your clip till you go back. and you play it. And your clip will actually, the soundtrack will automatically sense when there's your voice and lower the soundtrack, and will bring it back up if your voice isn't present. It also automatically fades in your clip and fades out your clip. So it does all of that for you, so you don't have to do it. So again, music notes, because I already have a song, I see it selected there under soundtracks. So I can tap on it again and I can change up that song. So it's a different choice. And then we add it on. So as people are adding soundtracks, I'll take some more questions. So Lisa, did you see, when you go to the Animojis, the first time, because it's connected to my Animojis that work across all of the apps, the first time I went in Clips, I created an Animoji that looked like me. So once you have that created, or you may see a little plus sign with a person that first time. Karen, to turn live titles off, go back to your live title and just say none. I know it's annoying that they don't automatically turn it off every clip, but I guess they figure if you're using them, you may want to use them for your whole video. So again, we'll do that little check-in. Do you have a poster? Do you have a picture? Do you have a picture with a sticker on it or video with a sticker on it? If you have live titles, that's a bonus. If you have a soundtrack, that's awesome. You just want to let me know in the comments, and then we'll show you how to save it. You only see the animals. So I'll have to look at that, Lisa. I know the first time I used my Memoji, I set it up in my messaging. I didn't actually set it up in Clips. Yes, Darlene. So if you wanted to mute the sound in a clip, just go back to that clip on your timeline and tap that mute button. So I have a habit. So anybody that's seen Digi Artbox, I don't like having my voice in them. So I'll just go back and double check and make sure. I usually mute them all. The other day I was making one and I decided to not, I wasn't sure if I should mute it, and then I came back and turned them all back on. So you have that freedom at any time. And remember, each clip is its own clip. So really, if you want them all to be muted, it's great to just go back and check them all out. Thanks for joining us, Barb. Have a great rest of the day. Nadine, awesome, you got music. So the last piece is really just to share. So on the bottom there, again, you don't want to see me twice on screen. On the bottom, there's that typical share symbol we see on Apple, just the box and the arrow out. So I can save video, and it will then take all of my clips into one video file that's on my camera roll. So I can take that video that's in my photos. You see my brother, and I can share it. So I can airdrop it to my computer if I wanted to. Like I said, a lot of times I'll just send it straight up to Google Drive. So I can share it that way. And we squished a lot into an hour with all of the technical glitches. I would share the video of what we did, but I don't know if I guess YouTube lives are all recorded, right? Darlene, I'll do that again. So Nadine, I'll definitely try to clean it up a little bit. And then I wonder if I can cut out all of that craziness I did at the beginning and share it with you guys again. We're also hoping, I'm part of a group, and we were chatting about ideas. So we're also hoping to make something quick for families that we can use? Darlene, that's a great question. I'm pretty sure you can, but to be honest, with Classroom, I would probably go through the app. I just find it's easier sometimes to use the app itself. So if I was in Classroom, hopefully I have a Classroom on here. Let's pick one. I have this one nobody's part of. Hopefully they're not all getting messages. Thanks for joining us, Kim. Thanks for joining us, Joyce. Thank you everyone for joining in. If you have more questions, stay on, but yeah, our time has come to an end. So to your point, Darlene, if I'm here in my classroom and I just want to post some material, I can use my paperclip and go to my pick photo, and I can choose my video and choose and drop it straight into Classroom. Bitmoji choice boards. So here's the thing, Deepa, I'm not a big expert about Bitmojis. But maybe we can get some friends to share. We can definitely do a walkthrough. This Wednesday, we're going to do Flipgrid, just a different video you can use, a video messaging tool you can use, because I promised Lisa that one. But yeah, we can do a little step-by-step with the choice boards, and we'll make sure to get the Bitmojis in there. If people are game, I'll just post them on the weekend like we've been doing. So again, for the Animoji piece, sorry, I know that end part we've been going super fast. You're in your camera, which is weird because we didn't usually get effects in camera. We go to camera and go to effects. And if you have a new iPhone, it should give you your Animojis. We're just trying to figure out, I got my face because I set it up somewhere, and we need to figure that out for Lisa and friends. Anything else you guys really want Appy Hours on? I'm thinking if we just do Wednesday nights, if people are game. And if we're using YouTube Live, I can always share them after the fact. Did the comments work out for people? Yeah, anybody can join on Wednesday with the Flipgrid. We're going to do Flipgrid Shorts this time. Now, everything we do in Flipgrid Shorts, we can do on Flipgrid. But Flipgrid Shorts means you don't need to get the kids involved yet. And then we can do another one on setting up grids and all the settings too. Anything else you're interested in, just send me a DM. Glad you enjoyed it, Nadine. I'm glad everybody had fun. If you do create something, feel free to share it. Love to see your creations. So we'll definitely do a choice board one. So yeah, if you guys can let me know what you preferred. So the bonus of YouTube Live is we're not limited to numbers. So one of the hard parts with Meet is that because there's cameras and audio, it was a bit harder. And now that I have the 2 laptop set up, I can be better prepared next time. Wednesday nights are great. Awesome. Comments were great. Yeah, this was awesome. I didn't really do what I could because I messed up the computers, but we can actually show your comments large screen. So that may also help for us to have like more of that shared conversation. So choice boards for sure. Okay. So we were doing, last week we did 7 on a Wednesday night, but we could probably do like a Wednesday night and a Saturday afternoon since I'm stuck at home anyways. This Saturday we have Dig Sit, so that it will be a bit harder, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's been awesome. Thanks for all of your patience with the troubleshooting. And sorry, my brain was a little sluggish there to figure it out. But yeah, have a great day. I'll just stay on for another 5 minutes if anybody has any other last minute questions. But like we said, Wednesday we'll do Flipgrid Shorts, and then we'll take it from there. Thanks for joining, Lisa. So glad we could learn together, Katie. It's been forever. The bonus of this setup, I think, too, with YouTube Live is that anybody can join in. So that's probably a good piece, too. I guess we just need a little screen that reminds people to log into their YouTube account to be able to comment. And if you don't follow Katie, she's doing this really cool historical project you may want to add to, collecting stories of our COVID times. Anytime. Anytime, Katie. All right, folks, I'm going to log off. See you later. Have a great rest of your day and a great start to the week. Bye. Good that I'm crying.